This week in UFC Fight Night, Sterling versus Zalal takes place. I'm going to take my main card picks for these fights. They're actually not like the best fights, but they're alright, not amazing. So, to start off with, we have Marcus Buchecha versus Ryan Spann. I'm taking Ryan Spann any day of the week, solely because Buchecha is 0-1-1 in the UFC, right? His last fight, he drew with Kennedy Nzechukwu, and before that was Martin Buday. He lost to Martin Buday. If you lose to Martin Buday, you're not making it in the UFC, I'm afraid. It's just a straight up fact. You're not making it. Ryan Spann, this is his third fight at heavyweight, right? His first fight at heavyweight, he lost to Corte da Costa, but then his last fight, he submitted Lucas Brecci. Okay? Ryan Spann, I have by round one submission, my opinion. I have by round one submission. I can't see any other outcome for the fight, solely because Ryan Spann has power. He's knocked out people before. He's knocked out Dominic Reyes before. He's submitted Ovin St. Preux. That was an alright win. Ryan Spann has a lot of skills to take out Buchecha. He's got a better gas tank. He has better power. In my opinion, a better ground game. And in my opinion, a better record. Yes, 23-11, 5-2-1. Bro drew against Nzechukwu. Bro lost to Butai in his first fight. And some people picking him to win. Like, look, he's a favourite in this fight. How is he a favourite, bro? You lost to Martin Butai. Like, holy crap, bro. Like, look, all due respect, Buchecha's a fighter of all time. He's a fighter of all time. Ryan Spann ain't losing the fight. He ain't losing the fight. Yeah, in Spann's last 5 fights, he's 2-3, okay? Yes. But, I don't know. I can't see Spann losing the fight. I really can't. I'd have money on Spann. If I were you, I would put money on to Spann to win. I would. Round one submission choke. Buchecha, I can't see a way of winning for Buchecha. I really can't. If he does put it off, well, fair play to him. Only way I can see Buchecha pulling it off is I don't really know. I guess if Spann takes him down and he can take his back or something. Because when Buchecha was in ONE FC, he did do all right. He did win 5 fights in ONE FC. And he was a good grappler before MMA. So, my opinion, Buchecha could win if when Ryan Spann takes him down, he can take his back and submit him. If Buchecha can't do that, Buchecha's done for. So yeah, Ryan Spann, round 1 submission. Moving on, we have Montel Jackson versus Raoni Barcelos. Right then, this fight will be a good fight. I personally have Raoni Barcelos because he is Marab's worst nightmare. And I personally think he would give a lot of struggle to Piotr Jan. Solely because he has defied all the odds, right? A year or two ago, people thinking he's old now, give him a bit and he'll be out of here. Even it went on a 4-fight winning streak, starting it off with Christian Quinones by a submission choke. And then at UFC 311, he fought Peyton Talbot. I was one of the only ones who chose Raoni Barcelos, and I'm not saying it for the sake of it. I can't stand Peyton Talbot. I can't stand the guy. And many people thought, yeah, Talbot, another flash KO win. Then Barcelos came out of nowhere and absolutely manhandled the bloke. He manhandled him. And then afterwards, he beat Cody Garbrandt, a former champion. Granted, he was on a downward spiral, but he still did good. You can't deny that. You can't take that away from him. He still did amazing. And then in his last fight, he beat Ricky Simone. If Raoni wins this fight, he deserves to get put in the top 15 of bantamweight. Do I think he could become a good top 15 gatekeeper? Yes. Do I think he could become a good top 10 gatekeeper? Yes. Top 5? Hell no. Hell no. But I think he could be a good top 15, good top 10 fighter. Then we have Montel Jackson. Montel's last fight was against Davidson Figueiredo. And it was a split decision. So, if Raoni can win this fight, It proves he can fight, because Montel's a good fighter. Montel's a very good fighter. And it proves he can hang with the top boys. It proves he can hang with the top of them. But I think Barcelos has a way better grappling skill set. His jiu-jitsu and his wrestling is far more skilled than Jackson's, in my personal opinion. Yes, Jackson has the KO power. Jackson has the KO power to win. By far he does. But I personally do believe Hayone will do what he did in the Talbot fight and just pressure forward and take down Jackson. Because it's a 3-rounder. Barcelos has been nowhere near 5-rounder, so he's got the gas tank for 3-rounders, right? Barcelos will, in my opinion, win against Jackson and then move up to top 15 of bantamweight. That's my personal opinion. Because he's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter, Barcelos. 21-5. I think his next fight should be against a ranked opponent if he don't move up now. But yeah, I would have Barcelos by unanimous decision. I don't know how he's an underdog in the fight. I really don't. But hey, Barcelos by UD. But the only way I can see Jackson winning is if he catches Barcelos early on. I think like a round 2 TKO would be like understandable for Jackson. But I am still taking Barcelos by unanimous decision in this fight. Moving on, we have Davy Grant versus Adrian Luna Martinetti. Right. Martinetti's debut in the UFC, 17-1 versus Grant, a very crafty veteran in the UFC. I have David Grant in this fight. Due to him being a crafty veteran. It's Martinetti's debut. He's 17-1. Many fighters, when they debut at 17-1 or like a very positive record, it's very dodgy to look at. Solely because when you look at these fighters' records, like Adrian Luna Martinetti's, 17-1, right? He has 4 wins by KO, 6 by submissions, 7 wins by decision, right? He beat Volodin on the Contender Series. A very good win. We found out last week Volodin's got a rate on him. But before that, he beat Jesus Flores, who was 0-0. Before that, he fought somebody who was 8-3. Before that, 13-10. Before that, 12-4, 25-10, 3-4, 9-12. Now then, the people he's been fighting aren't to the quality that Grant's been fighting. Grant's been fighting he's been fighting since 2013, I believe, right? And look, his last fight, yes, he lost to Charles Jourdain, right? By round 1 guillotine choke. But he beat Damon Blackshear. He beat Ramon Tavares. He fought people like Marlon Rivera, like Jonathan Martinez, Rafael Assunção. He fought a lot of good people, right? So my personal opinion, I believe Grant will. I don't think he'll win by finish, but I think Grant will drop a round to Martinetti, and Grant will win by decision, because I don't think Martinetti is experienced enough of a deeper skill set like Grant's. Grant has power. Grant has ground game. Grant has a lot of well-rounded abilities. Martinetti is debuting. We've not seen a lot from Martinetti. Like a casual fan's not seen a lot from Martinetti. But with what his record says, and I've watched a few of his fights, I think Grant will pose a serious threat to Martinetti's abilities. So, as a fellow Englishman, I am choosing Grant to win, solely because I personally believe Grant won't lose to Martinetti. I don't think he can. A veteran, if he loses, I personally say it's time to hang up the gloves, in my opinion, if Grant loses. But I personally think Grant will win the fight by 29-28 decision. Martinetti might get good showings off in the very early rounds. I think round 1 he'll come out swinging. But I think Grant will use his veteran gas tank and just fight through the pressure, take him down in round 2, hold him down for a bit, get a bit striking off in round 3, and finish off with takedown to win by 29-28 decision. Martinetti could be a good fighter, but he needs to know the advanced skill set of what UFC fighters are like. He can't come in expecting, yeah, I'm 17-1 on the Ecuadorian scene, right? And I can come in and smash people. No. Martinetti needs to realise to what deeper level fighters in the UFC are like, learn the skill set, and then he can be good. Because he's got to fight people, if he does become a top contender, people like Piotr Jan, people like Marlon Vera, people like Song Yadong. He's got to fight people like them. So, I personally believe Martinetti needs to have this fight with Grant. He'll lose it, but then readjust himself, reinvent himself to be able to fight people in the UFC and on the UFC caliber. But yes, on this fight, I'm taking David Grant by 29-28 decision. Then, with Rafa Garcia versus Alexander Hernandez. This will be a right fight. Hernandez is currently on a 4-fight winning streak. Garcia on a 2-fight winning streak. I'm taking Hernandez by TKO in round 2 in this fight. Solely because in Hernandez's last 2 fights, right, I remember a lot of people thought Hernandez would have done it in the UFC. At one point in his career, in 9 fights, he was 3-6, okay? 3-6. But since his Damone Jackson loss 2 years ago, he beat Austin Hubbard by split decision. Beat Kurt Holloway, 2 tough alumni, not the greatest, but decent showings. Then he knocked out Chase Hooper, which shocked a lot of people. And then he knocked out Diego Ferreira. Hernandez has fully not reinvented himself, but adjusted himself to the point where he's 33. He's slowly aging, but he can become a top contender again. I personally think he will beat Rafa Garcia. Don't get me wrong, Garcia's got some good abilities. Right, he's got some very good abilities. He has such an elite ground game. Last fight, he TKO'd Jared Gordon by elbows in ground position, right, in round 3. He beat Vince Pichel, which was a very good fight. He beat Clay Guida, an aging veteran, an immense win. Beat Mahashate, a very good win. Beat Jesse Ronson by rear naked choke, showing of his BJJ ability. So in my opinion, I think Rafa will get down Hernandez. I think he'll hold him down. But I think Hernandez will, in round 2 or 3, catch him with a big hook just to take down Garcia. I personally really want Hernandez to win. I really want him to win. He's got the leg reach advantage, got the reach advantage in his arms, height advantage. In this fight, he has every advantage known to man, besides the grappling disadvantage. But I personally believe Hernandez will win by round 2 TKO, in my personal opinion. He's got the power, he's got the striking advantage, he's got the height advantage. I want him to win, because I'd like to see Hernandez back in the top 15, and there's some good fights in the top 15 Hernandez could have. But if I were you, I would take Alexander Hernandez by round 2 TKO. Then we have Jocelyn Edwards versus Norma Dumont. On paper, this fight isn't close. 13-2 Norma Dumont, 17-6 Jocelyn Edwards. But if you look at Norma's record, right, she has a severe gap in time. She fought Ketlin Vieira 5 months ago and only won by a split decision. That was a very close fight. And before that, she took a year and 2 months off after she fought Irina Aldana, right? I think Jocelyn could win this fight. I personally believe, where the odds for this? Okay, fair enough. I guess just fuck me then. But I personally think Norma should win the fight. Norma should win it. But Jocelyn has a very good chance of winning solely because of how active she's been. She beat Tamira Van... I can't talk! Oh my god! Tamara Vidal. There we go. She knocked out Chelsea Chandler. She beat Priscilla Cachoeira. And then, just 2 months ago, she beat Nora Cornell by rear naked choke. So, I believe Edwards has a good chance of winning. I think she can, if she just pressures Norma, right? Winner of this could potentially fight champion at bantam. Who's bantamweight champ again? I've forgotten who bantamweight champion. It's Kayla Harrison. There we go, Kayla Harrison. There we go. I couldn't remember it for a second. Jesus Christ. But yeah, these ain't beating Kayla. These ain't beating Kayla Harrison. But I personally believe Norman will win this fight by decision. Boring 29-28 decision. But I think Jocelyn has the ability to show some threat on the ground with how advanced the ground game is and how she's knocked out a few people in her last few fights. I think she'll pose a threat on the feet, which will cause Norma to take it to the ground. But then I think Edwards can show her ground game. You know, yeah, I'm going Edwards. I'm going Edwards 29-28 decision or a late round 3 submission by Edwards. Late round 3 submission. She has the height advantage, she had the reach advantage, and she has the leg reach advantage. I now personally believe Edwards will win by a late round 3 submission or 29-28 split decision. I'm calling it now. I am calling it now. And finally, our main event. Aljamain Sterling versus Yusuf Zalal. This fight could go between two ways. Either Aljo just holds down Zalal like he did to Ortega or Cater 2 years ago, 300. He could do that, but like we've seen with Zalal, Zalal's been on an absolute tear since coming back into the UFC, right? He got cut a few years ago. He came back and is now on a 5-fight winning streak. Beat Billy Quarantillo, Jano Evans, beat Jack Shaw, beat Calvin Cater, and beat Josh Emmett. 4 of those 5 wins are by submission. I personally believe he can show a threat to Aljo on the ground game with submissions. I think he'll threaten him with an arm triangle choke or an armbar, in my opinion. Because the Josh Emmett win were an absolute blitz. I couldn't believe that when he beat Josh Emmett. I couldn't believe that. So I personally believe Aljo will win. I believe so. Aljo will win. I don't want him to win, but I think Aljo will just hold him down and just stuff all of his submission attempts. But if it stays on the feet, Zalal has a severe advantage in the striking department due to how advanced he's developed himself. In the last 5 fights, he's developed himself so well come back into the UFC. And if anything, right, and Aljo's last 5 is 2-3. Yeah, 2 of the fights have been title fights against Cejudo and Sean, but in bantamweight is 2-1. Beat Cater, but Cater's on a severe decline at the moment. Lost to Evloev, which, granted, was a very close fight. That was a very close fight. And then we have the Ortega win. I think Aljo will win by 48-47 decision. But if Zalal does get an opportunity to win, it will be round 3 or round 4 submission. Mark my words. Zalal has got a chance of winning by a round 3 or round 4 submission, but I think Aljo's that advanced and that elite to the point where he can stuff all of his abilities to try and submit him and just hold him down and get a bit of ground game off to win by 48-57 decision. But yeah, these are my picks for Sterling Zalal Fight Night main card. Please let me know what you guys think. And yeah, have a good day.